All right, so number 6, we got Kevin Owens. I mean, Kevin Owens holds a soft spot in our hearts because he's a bigger guy.
He's a bigger guy. We like bigger guys.
Because we're bigger guys, as you may be able to tell. But not only is he a bigger guy, but he wrestles. Yeah, everyone wants to hate on his headlock and his chin lock and all that, but he has great character work. He is great in the ring. He can go with anybody. He does flips. He does headlocks. He does dives. He does power wrestling. He does anything. And I think when it comes to versatility, I don't know how many people in the WWE are as versatile as Kevin Owens. He did great in NXT from the night he showed up. He's done great in WWE since the night he showed up. He's had a couple of moments where they didn't seem like they know what they were doing with him. Like, I still wish he had started that group with Joe and Triple H, but at the same time, I'm glad Triple H is off TV. Because, I mean, let's give younger guys a shot. But, I mean, I can't say enough about Kevin Owens. He's great. I think he's got a great future still. So, a great run so far. And
he's so. When Kevin Owens comes out, Kevin Owens cuts his promos. When you watch him work, it's almost like you're not watching a character. You're just watching Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't seem like he's playing a character. He just seems like he's being him. He's one of the more natural guys that seem more natural doing what they're doing. The rings. I think his ring psychology is very top tier for the guys they have in the roster right now. I think he tells great stories with his matches, because he can flip the switch from being this dominant, powerful guy who's out to maliciously hurt you and stuff, to being this sympathetic or kind of scaredy cat heel guy who's trying to get cheap wins or whatever. And it doesn't, and not even against like guys that are bigger than him. Like the recent match with Styles, the way he won with Styles' foot getting stuck in the table, as corny and cheesy as that was, Owens sold that really well, in my opinion. Especially with, then he attacked him afterwards. That just his ring work has been great. His story with Jericho, I thought, was phenomenal work. All the way from as cheesy, as corny as that got, but again, like his title run that he had with Jericho being his best friend helping him, I thought was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Because he won. He was. It didn't make him as many as cheap wins as he had. None of them really made him look weak, in my opinion. I still thought he still was a strong champion. My biggest complaint with the run was how he lost the belt. I would have really liked, as much as the Jericho interfering for the Goldberg match was obvious. I would have liked to see Kevin Owens Goldberg story play out in a match, especially the way they built the match, with Goldberg being basically slated as being invincible up to that point. I think Kevin Owens could have done a lot for Goldberg. And as old as Goldberg is, and as much as he's already established himself, I think Kevin Owens could have done a lot for him.
Okay.
And vice versa. I thought it was a safe move to make Owens not look weak, losing to Goldberg like that. But even now, the smug face of America character he's playing now, I think is brilliant. His entitled character that he's basically portrayed since he got there, I think, is great. And he's, again, it's another one of those guys that he can come out and say two sentences and be the biggest face in the company or be the biggest heel in the company like that, and people and the crowd will react accordingly to it. He's just such a natural character to me that he can say he knows how to play the crowd. He knows the psychology of wrestling very well. He's got it down. I believe, and again, like, quality of matches with him are great. Him being a bigger guy, there's a lot of moveset. I did used to watch Kevin Owens a lot before he came up. His moveset in the indie scene was a lot more exciting in my opinion than his moveset is now. Which
But you can't do pile drivers.
I understand the safety of some of his moves and stuff, but for a guy to be that fearless in the ring, to be, not your stereotypical wrestler build, which is the biggest flack he's caught from from haters or whatever, is his build. But for him to go in and perform literally with people like who are top notch, his match with Styles at Backlash, take away the corny finish of it. It was a good match. It was a great quality match. His matches with Jericho were great. Of course, the feud with Zayn, again, we talked about that earlier when we talked about Sammy, that was such a great story between those two that they did phenomenal with. And I'd like to see more title run. I'd like to see another title run with him, I'd like to see him. I actually would like to see a face run for him. I think he would do really well as a face.
Everybody loves him already, so
yeah. But it was just, we've seen so much of the heel, and it'd be nice to see like a change, a turn for him. I think because I think his heel character is kind of hitting a wall. Because after the Jericho thing, I think kind of peaked his heelness.
I think it all depends on who he's feuding against. He's one of those people that as a heel, I think he plays off best against. It depends on who he's against. If he's more comfortable with you, I think you'll get more out of him. But if he's not as comfortable, I don't know. Maybe he holds back. But with AJ, I think the problem with AJ is they're both so similar in where they've been in their careers that everyone wants to cheer both of them. So
yeah.
But yeah, there's not enough we can say about Kevin Owens, and
again, I'm excited for. I don't think there's anything they could do with him that I would be excited for.
I mean, I love everything they do with him, but I'll enjoy it. He's a good wrestler. He's a good character. He gets the industry. All right. So, number 5 is The Miz.
The Miz.
And if you had told me 10 years ago that The Miz would be on my top 10 list, I'd say you're crazy. But he has improved so much in the time that he's been in the company, from being on Tough Enough to being the SmackDown host to being the chick magnet, teaming with John Nitro, or was he Morrison? I don't remember. But to come from there to then go to the feud that he had with Cena, and he had with that whole match with Rock, it was a crap match. But Miz's character at that time was top notch. And since then, they've built him and built him and built him as that character. And he's probably one of the most over characters they have on TV now. I mean, he had one of the loudest cheers at WrestleMania. It was hilarious. Nobody knew what to do with that. And it just stems from his great character work. In the ring, he's fine. I don't think he's ever going to have a 5-star match in the ring. But when you add his character on top of what he can do in the ring, he's a 5-star character. I mean, The Miz, he's a company guy. He's a great worker. He seems to be a legitimately good dude. Even on Total Divas, he just seems like the nicest dude in the world, which is completely contrary to his character on TV. But, I mean, The Miz has improved so much to where he is now. I would have never believed it 10 years ago.
Well, and to take the criticisms that he's gotten from day one.
To get locked out the locker room.
Just the criticisms he faced from day one. He was a reality TV star from MTV. Which, by the way, he shined on that show, too. Like, again, his personality is a natural gift that he has, and he's been able to channel it, I think, perfectly. When he won the belt with the Money in the Bank, I thought it was great. The feud with Cena, I thought was some of the best. I think he was one of the best heels to work Cena in Cena's career. Personally, he was the perfect, slimy, conniving champion who cheated to win. Who was the scared champion that took the easy way on everything. I thought he played that so perfectly, and even today as the Intercontinental champion, he does the same character, and then bringing his wife Maurice back, who was,
Who would have figured that Maurice would be
regardless of her in-ring ability when she wrestled, being very lackluster, still a very her herself. I feel does a great job being a natural heel woman in the wrestling, and to pair her with the Miz and to give them this persona, this movie star, arrogant, cocky persona, and her being just as cocky as he is, or just as confident in him as he is himself, but then at the same time have Miz be willing to sacrifice his own wife to not get hurt, or to back out of a feud to put his wife in between them. It's just great work. And it's another one of those things when Miz comes out, it's no matter who he works with, he puts that person over because he's such a natural heel, and not like a natural heel where fans hate him personally. It's that his character is believable, and people have invested and bought into his character, and people love to hate his character, which is what makes you a great heel. Again, that him being and it's not like he's working like jobbers or anything like that. He's working your top guys. He's worked Ambrose a lot recently. Ambrose is one of the most over guys in the company.
I still don't know why.
I still don't get it. I'm actually, the flirtation with him and Dan O'Brien feud. If Dan O'Brien's ever allowed to wrestle again, I think if that does come into fruition, I think that's going to be a huge deal. I think that'll be huge for Miz's career. And it'll be easy. I mean, of course, if Dan O'Brien does somehow ever come back, of course, the reaction to that will be just phenomenal and huge and insane. But I like him as a heel. I like him he's got phenomenal mic work, and he's embraced he's embraced who he is better than most people have. Where he's become his character instead of just pretending to be a guy on TV. This is him, and and the Total Divas thing, like he mentioned, it's a cool thing to see that side of him because his on screen character persona is a super cocky, arrogant, smug guy, but then you pull the lights and stuff back, and he's one of the most humble guys to be where he's at. Which is why I think he's such a company guy. He's so big on doing stuff for the company, the movies, and all that jazz, because he's so humble and he's so appreciative of where he's at.
Yeah.
And like I said, just I get excited when Miz's music hits. He's got a lot of flack over the years. I think some of it's a very undeserving flack, but he's gotten some of the most. The better heel reactions over the past decade, 15 years. He's been one of the better heels, and he's been a very consistent heel.
Yeah.
Where a lot of guys can't sustain that kind of reaction for that length of time before they get stale. And he's been able to not really change his character, but just tweak it subtly along the way to adjust to where it keeps his character still fresh at the same time. So where he hasn't gotten stale as a heel, he hasn't gotten stale as a character. People still love to hate him, and as long as he keeps doing that, he's an easy guy to build people with. He's an easy guy and it's something where if they decide to give Miz a push again, it's something very easily where you can plug him in with all these top guys and make it mean something.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of excitement from him also in the future.
For his future, I think they're not only doing him a disservice, but probably themselves if he doesn't end up with the title again. I mean,
absolutely.
If there's anyone that deserves a run with it, it's him. I mean, you'd say anyone deserves it because it's wrestling, it's fake, whatever. But he's worked his ass off. He does more media than probably everyone but John Cena. So, I think he deserves everything that he gets, and I hope he has a bright future. He's 35, so who knows how much longer he has, but with his style, he could be around for 10, 15 more years. So definitely big fans of The Miz here.